Hello, and welcome to a special episode of Review to a Kill. So we had an idea a few weeks ago that we would do a one-off special episode where we would answer your questions. On Bond, yes, but on any subject. So it's going to be just 15-20 minutes of just...
Who are these clowns
Yeah,
that you've been
exactly.
listening to?
Religiously, because you're so
Chatting
taken in
about
by our
Bond.
brilliant podcast,
YouTube show.
thing. Sorry. So yes, these are just some questions that you've sent in, and we are ever keen to keep our growing millions of listeners happy. Viewers. Sorry, I'm from a radio background, you know. So yes, we thought, right, questions. We'll get you can just answer anything you want, and away we go. So. Question number one is from one of our regular correspondents on Feedback Corner, Luna, Mystic Luna. Question for you, Tom.
Oh, yeah.
Luna says, which Bond film are you, Tom, most looking forward to watching for the first time?
Oh, well,
it's a good question.
it is, and now so we've just done we've done 14 now, haven't we? So I'm very excited about Timothy Dalton, being a big Flash Gordon fan, and it's amazing in that movie. I'm not really want to see why it was so short-lived, and I suppose I'm guessing it's less to do with him and more to do with the times he was.
I think so.
Making the movies.
I think we'll get to that. Yeah.
But I'm very excited about that. I'm interested to see the Brosnan ones, but I think I'm more excited about the Craig ones and how it all comes. But
I'll tell you now, I've got a bit of a soft spot for the Brosnan movies, particularly the early Brosnan movies, because. That there was obviously a big gap between the end of the Dalton era and the start of the Brosnan era. 6 years was a long time between films at that point. And so it was like back with a bang. Oh, great, I can go to cinema and watch a Bond film again. It was great. So I'm a bit of a softie for the Brosnan films. But yeah, so it's the Dalton movies you're most looking forward to seeing.
I'm really looking
Well, they're
forward to
just
the
coming
next
up.
two.
So make sure you watch the next two episodes.
Yeah.
Luna also asks, what's the plans for the show? If you have any.
Yeah.
Of course we have. This is highly planned. Everything about this show is planned. What's the plans for the show after No Time to Die? Well, we don't want to give too much away, but there is a plan.
Really?
We'll just say...
I'll edit my reaction.
The concept of a plan. I have the concept of a
Yeah.
plan. No, but we are going to carry on doing these films and these little episodes.
We want to do a bit more Bond when we finish the board.
Yeah.
Just to kind of wrap things up.
There'll be the unofficial Bonds.
Unofficial Bonds.
So we'll do a few of those, and then we have an idea for a special in the not too distant future, and we think. I'm sure I would like to continue. You would like to continue. We will continue.
I would like to do a whole new board, maybe another 25 or thereabouts of something new.
Okay.
But maybe not like a single franchise.
Okay.
We've not completely.
But we'll figure it out.
Work this out. But
We'll figure it out. But yes, we're going to continue.
Another board.
Yes, we're going to continue. Anyway, you don't have to worry. We've got 11 Bond films to do. Yeah. So that'll take about a year. The rate we brought them out at. So, right. Tracy has been in touch. Hiya, Tracy. She says, I think this is a brilliant question, by the way. Right. If James Bond was to go fully electric, what current car on the market would he drive? That's a brilliant question. Now,
I don't really know.
I drive an electric car, right? But it's a Renault Zoe, and there's no way Bond's driving one of them.
Not even cut in half.
No, and not even we couldn't even put him in one of those little Fiat 500s to bomb around the town in. So I did a little bit of literally 10 minutes of research this afternoon, because I thought the trouble with cars now is, I know I sound like a really old man.
That's all right. You've been asked a question.
I used to. Well, I am an old man. I am 50 in a few months. The trouble with cars now is, I used to drive motorway crunchers, big saloons, Audis and whatever, that you'd sort of crunch up the motorway in and come back, and they were sort of planted and made to eat motorway miles, right? The world has moved on, and now people like SUVs, right? Sports utility vehicles, right? These sort of slightly more upright mini 4x4 things, right?
Yeah.
I just don't see James Bond in one at all. I think he would drive a sort of Grand Tourer, your DB9 type Grand Tourer. And there isn't an electric car like that, as far as I can tell. Even Jaguar, and they're making the I-Pace, which is basically a big SUV. The nearest I could find was Lotus make a car called the Emina or something like that it's called. And it's like a two-seater sports car, quite low slung, closer to the Z3 that Bond drives in Brosnan's era. 2-seater sports car, which again would crunch a lot of miles and is quite low slung. A little bit more Bondy. I think it's called the Amira or something. But the truth is, there aren't many electric cars, I don't think, that Bond would drive at the moment. If Aston Martin do an electric DB10 or something, then yes, that would be the one. Vinny Harris has been in touch with a few random questions. We'll try and whip through these as quick as we can, Vinny. Are you fans of horror movies? Hard no from me, I don't like them. Tom?
Hard, yes.
Hey!
I like good uns, though. I don't like bad uns.
What do you call good uns?
Top
3.
I like a lot of John Carpenter.
Yeah.
So I I enjoy the practical effects in Bond. I like practical horror, gore, and just things are just done like stuff like The Exorcist and then there's like David Lynch stuff, a bit more psychological.
I liked the first Halloween. Thought that was
Halloween's very good.
But I don't really go for horror films, if I'm being
The
honest.
Thing I absolutely love.
I'm more like sort of thrillers than horror films. I like Hitchcock films. I like those sorts of things. I watched The French Connection recently, which is a fabulous movie.
I got that for my birthday.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like all genres really when they're good.
Okay, Vinny also asks, is there ever such a thing as too much nudity or sex in a film?
Yeah.
No, obviously.
Well, I'd say if you were watching Aladdin and then
I get that. No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but
I'd say you've made a faux pas there, Disney.
No, that's true. Creatively, that would be a faux pas.
There is such a thing as too much sex.
Suddenly in the middle of Schindler's List or something. I get it. I get it. But in the right context, I suppose it's always all right, isn't it?
It's fine. I don't even know anymore.
Do you know?
At 44, I love Boogie Nights. Is one of my favourite movies.
It's a great movie.
Fair bit of shagging in there.
Yeah, but
it's
about the porn industry, so there's going to be
for the runtime, 2.5 hours. It's probably only a tiny little bit.
Not that much.
That's not why it's one of my favourite.
The other thing, I do genuinely think everyone is far too ready to get offended by everything in movies. If you're watching a movie and you don't like something that comes on, whether it's sex or nudity or the bad language or the whatever else, turn it off and go do something else with your life. You don't have to watch the whole 2.5 hours and then sit down and furiously type a letter to the Daily Mail.
I know what you mean. But I don't know.
It's context has got to be right.
It's not a deal breaker. Has this movie got shagging in it? Otherwise, I'm not interested. Like, I'm not really that bothered. I suppose.
And also, I'm not being funny. We're all adults. You sort of know what you're going into, as it were.
Yeah.
So you sort of know what this movie contains.
Yeah.
No one should watch, for example, Boogie Nights and go, "Well, I was really shocked by it." It's a movie about the porn business,
Yeah.
So I just think as long as there's context, and as long as it's in, it's for adults and not in kids' movies or whatever. I don't see a problem.
I do get a bit like a sense of there's like funny old horror movies that I like Reanimator. There's this gorgeous actress called Barbara Crompton,
right,
who often sheds all her clothes.
Yeah,
and she's really sound, and she's on Twitter now, and she's like really fond of what she did and has great memories of these films where, and then there's like stuff where you think, I doubt the actress did have a good time.
That's true. That's true.
And it feels a bit, this is awful.
And there are examples, there's plenty of documented examples of that in the past.
So I kind of do think, if it kind of feels like, I don't care seeing loads of naked people.
No.
But I do get a bit queasy if it looks like
it's a bit forced. And obviously we're not talking about pornography here. That's a whole separate conversation that we're not getting involved in, right?
Because is there such a thing as too much sex in
pornography?
No,
definitely. Vinny's final question. Vinny sent a whole load of questions through. Just one more. What are your hopes for the next Bond movie? I don't want to spoil anything for you. I just want them to go back to standalone movies with no backstory, with Bond as an established agent, like they did at the start of GoldenEye. I can't say any more because I'll give the game away.
Yeah,
but that's
what I want them
to go back to. And there we are. On a related theme, Martin Barrett, who is my friend in Dublin, hiya Martin, he's a lovely fellow, Martin. Right. He sent a message to say, chaps, because he's a terribly polite man.
Yeah.
We've waited so long and still no sign regarding Bond 26 pre-production.
Yeah.
What on earth is going on?
I'm doing my best.
Well, yeah, he's auditioning weekly for some part of it. Okay, I can't say too much without giving it away for Tom, because obviously he's not seen Bond 25. What I will say, Martin, is, and this is just my theory, I think the creative decisions that they made in Bond 25, particularly regarding...
I'm going to move away for this bit.
No, you're all right.
No, I'm just going to...
I won't give it away. Particularly regarding what they did with some of the lead characters, including Bond himself, I think it's backed them into a corner. I think they're in a very difficult space, and I don't think they quite know how to get out of it. I think that's partly it. I think it's also partly that there is just longer between Bond movies now. We haven't been in a cycle where they're making one every 2 years for 16 years or whatever it is. So they are just longer between cycles. But I think the decisions they made in Bond 25, which Tom has yet to see, I think that's just made it harder. Where the hell do we go next? That's my honest take. And once we've done No Time to Die, in that episode when we do it, which will be in like a year's time. But anyway, when we do it, I'll tell you exactly why I think they went wrong and how they got themselves in that mess. There you go. That sound all right?
Yeah.
Right, Oxford James. He wants to know best episode of Bottom and why.
I did think about this when...
Okay.
I know it's like difficult.
It is difficult.
Can I give...
I'm going to give two or three.
At least three, but I will say my outright favourite, and I think you probably know what it is because I always make you watch it.
Chess.
But yeah. Before that, I'd love it's the third episode, but it's the very first one they shot with the Miss World and the
Miss World.
Copy Parade.
Yeah.
That's just, it's bleak as hell, and it just introduces them so
dark,
well.
isn't it?
Why don't we ever bloody win anything ever and all that? And they just introduce them as being like problem for each other. Like if they just...
you know what it was? It was Waiting for Godot. They'd done Waiting for Godot, the Beckett play, and they thought it was the funniest thing ever, even though it's incredibly bleak, and that's not where it came from. And you can see that in that episode, can't you? So that is a good episode, yeah.
So that one I love. Gasman. Yeah.
Well, I've got... Gasman's one of mine as well.
Yeah, but Culture... It's just like, and why is because it's just so wonderful seeing Richie in such a good mood and just in a dangerous good mood. He's dangerous when he's that excited. Yeah. And Eddie just has to put up with it, and it's all for no reason at all. Yeah. It's just and it's a complete...
all this stuff, and it's like a little bit of everything. It's like the whole of Bottom condensed into one episode.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit. Culture's just got a little bit of everything. There's the violence and the sort of humour, and the telly's a really central part. Yeah. But also, it's all in the flat.
Yeah.
Which I think.
And it's just the two of them.
That sort of inner claustrophobia.
I love Spud Gun and Hedgehog, and you know, a load when they have other people in it. But with the episode, and it's just the two of them. And
Rick Mail's on fire in that episode.
Absolutely.
He just nails it.
So there you go.
So that is a great episode. I also like the Gasman episode, which I think is great. I just love. I love when he's upstairs and Eddie's downstairs with all the food, and that's just...
How long are you going to be, Eddie? Quite a while.
And you can hear him going, Richie!
Richie!
I just love it. The other one I think I need to call out here is Digger, which is the first episode of Series 2.
I know the one, yeah.
And it's where they sign up to Lily Lineker's Love Bureau.
Yes.
And
it's just got I've inputted data.
That's where we get it from. Sorry. And
Helen Lederer,
Lady Natasha, Helen Lederer. I just think the idea that Richie is finally going to have sex.
Yeah.
There's just so much you can sort of do with that. This guy that, you know, it's like his whole life has been building up to this moment. And I just think it's just such a brilliant episode.
Yeah.
And again, little things like when he's trying to unzip her dress and he's going, come on, his hands are all sort of... I just think it's just fabulous.
Yes.
Anyway, there we are. Thank you for that, Oxford James. Couple of other very quick questions from Oxford James. Best line of Flash Gordon?
I thought it would be one of the prime numbers of the Zeman series. I haven't changed. There you go.
You literally could have said anything and I would have no idea, honestly. And then finally, a question for me, which is my favourite Bond actor?
Yeah.
He's put best Bond actor and favourite if different? Because that's a good question, because the best is not necessarily everybody's favourite.
Yeah.
I personally would say Connery for both, because I think he's the archetypal screen Bond. And I think it's not just, he can do a little bit of everything. He's good in the action, he's good with the ladies, he's good at sort of swimming, diving, he just sort of looks right doing everything. There's something about him, like the way he moves, he just moves in a tuxedo in a way that sort of, he looks...
Sort of lacking with Rog, especially in the last few.
Yeah. And he just looks like he kind of... He's smooth, but he's brutal and dangerous. And I'll bring you back to what Dustin Hoffman said. If he was given the opportunity to play Bond and he was asked, how would you play him? He said, I would play him as a sociopathic assassin who hates women. And there is a little bit of that about Connery. It's just an edge to him. So yeah, I personally would say Connery, but that's just me. Not that you shouldn't watch the subsequent movies. You should.
Well, we got them.
Yeah, we've got to fill out the Bond board for a start. Thank you for your questions, Oxford James. Triforce of Kaz.
Yeah.
Final question.
Yeah.
Besides Bond, what are some of your other interests or passions? We already know that Tom is a Flash Gordon fan. We've made that fairly clear. Yeah. But what else is there? Be as geeky and in-depth as you like. Doesn't have to be movies, TVs. It can be literally anything you enjoy. So what are you saying? Shall I go first while you think of it? Because I can see a slightly panicked expression there. Okay, so I've got a couple of things. So I am...
I can answer for James.
Go on.
You like your trains.
Well...
You like your fucking gardening. Your allotment.
Right, let me just clarify that.
Boring
Hold on.
stuff.
Let me just clarify that. Okay, so trains and allotments is a new thing for me. So I got an allotment a couple of years ago just to sort of try it. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm up there once every 3 weeks maybe trying to sort of make something grow. It's just, I thought, I'm out in the fresh air doing a bit of exercise. That was all that was. The train thing is because I was on a high-speed train 2.5 years ago now between Madrid and Barcelona, and it was amazing. And I just thought, this is the future. I'm sat there with a glass of wine watching Spain go by at 300 miles an hour thinking, this is great. Why is everyone flying when you could do this? It's brilliant. Yeah. So I've just sort of... I don't know anything about trains. I couldn't tell you anything. Like if I'm sitting at a station, a train comes in, I can't go, oh, that was built in 1994 at the Crewe depot. I can't tell you anything about trains. I just like travelling by trains in Europe.
Right.
Specifically in Europe, which is why I've done a little trip every so often and go and do... Swiss trains are brilliant, by the way. So yeah, that's the train thing. Okay, hobbies, passions. So I play cricket for a local cricket team. I am now the captain of said local cricket team, by the way. I think
how did you get on this season?
Identified my leadership.
What happened at the end? Did you...
Well... 326 runs in 12 innings at an average of 54. But, I don't want to... Whatever. I mean, whatever.
Got your name on the wall in the pub and everything?
Yeah, I mean, whatever. It's not a big deal.
Christ, did he get
what I do. Yeah. And the other thing I do is I've been involved for several years in a local charity which was doing trips for children affected by the Chernobyl fallout zone. But unfortunately, when the war started in Ukraine, we can't do that anymore. So we're now helping Ukrainian refugees with disabled children who have escaped to eastern Poland. So if anyone wants to find out more, I won't use this as a profile for it, but send me a message and I'll send you some more. And if you can give us a small amount of money every month, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated.
And I can't really take the piss, can I, with that one?
No. Although you did come to our pub quiz last year and did extremely well.
We stormed it. We won.
You came home first.
There were people there who thought we were like ringers or something because...
It's not that serious, mate. There's no point in putting
there was angry looks my way because they were like, we've been here for a few years on the trot. These clowns have just come in. That one's really friendly with James,
and smashed it.
Master.
Yeah.
Smell of rat.
Yeah.
And there was no rat. There was me. It was Phil, Lisa, and my brother Chris.
And Phil's a very clever man.
Lisa's amazing.
Lisa's very clever.
And my brother and me were all right.
Hi, Chris.
And yeah, we smashed it.
So anyway,
it was a good quiz as well. We're just bloody good quizzes.
Thank you. I think we'll do another one in February.
Yeah. So, are we allowed back, or are we?
Of course, you're allowed back. Yeah. I'm relying on you coming back. So anyway, that's me. Triforce of Kaz. What do you say?
James is that's better than me.
No, go on. What you
Well,
saying?
because you do all the charity work.
I don't do a lot of charity.
I just buy
compared to what
records. I
used to.
like my vinyl collection. I like.
You've got an impressive vinyl collection, I must say.
I've got some nice coloured
Pixies,
records.
Radiohead,
Yeah,
Beatles,
like my Pixies.
Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah, I got.
Arctic Monkeys, good
I
collection.
haven't got Arctic Monkeys,
In the black one? Arctic
No.
Monkeys? No. What is that?
but I've got
I'm going over. Hold
Lou
on.
Reed. I got David Bowie. So I like listening to records. I like. What's that? Oh, that's Chemical Brothers.
Oh, Chemical Brothers.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's Born in the Echoes. I thought it was AM by the Arctic Monkeys. They do look very similar. Can I just say
Well,
that?
that's probably a bit close.
That does look quite similar. Hang on, just a second. Sorry, Karen.
That's it, really. I didn't get out much. I like films. And I like drinking.
Drinking. Yeah, we do a lot of that as well. don't we?
Yeah.
There we are. Well, there we are. Now, there's one other question, which was from our official nice person, Queenie,
Yeah.
who said, would we act out a scene from a
Yeah.
show? We didn't quite know what you were asking, Queenie, so if you could
I'd
clarify
say
that for us.
definitely not if it's like that bit in Some Mothers Do Have 'Em where he roller skates. I'm not doing that.
That means I'd have to be Betty. I'm not
I
doing
would
that either.
But we need help, and from what I've learned on these Bond movies, some like
Yeah.
medics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like a few ambulances on standby. So we don't quite know what you mean, Queenie, but if you want to send us,
We'll have a go.
well, yeah, we'll just make something up.
Yeah.
She said a great British comedy duo. I didn't know if she meant
Oh,
like she had someone
Rick and
specific in
Adolf.
mind or
Probably
whatever.
Vic and Bob or
If
something.
it's
but
Morecambe
yeah.
and Wise when they're both sat in bed, we're not doing that. Just to let you know. Anyway, there we are. That was fun.
That was all right, wasn't it?
That was right, yeah. Thank you. We'll do that again sometime. Maybe we'll make that an annual thing.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for sending us your random questions. And we'll see you for our next episode, whatever and whenever that might be.
Thanks very much.
Don't know when this is going out. So.
No.
No, it's
Or
up to-
how to end it.
no, there we are. Well,
Yeah.
Bye.
It'll probably just start fading out.
yeah. Subscribe.
Just
Please
start fading
subscribe.
out slowly.
Subscribe
and
to the thing.
There we go.
Bye.
Cheers and bye then. Bye bye.
More wine,
Bye.
more wine.
Bye.